My boat is my office. So, you know, out on the Elite Series, we typically practice right up until the day before the tournament. And so, you know, I always practice as late as I can, go to the rules meeting, and then usually have a few hours to get my gear rigged up. So I do it all in the boat. And this is a cool thing I found a couple years ago for spooling up reels with line. Most people probably don't re-spool as much as they should, but you know, if you're using fluorocarbon, you know, I re-spool it quite often. I've got a rod I need to spool up here, so I'm just going to show you this little guy I got, and I just have it screwed onto the side of my console area here, and basically it just slides on there like that. With bait casting reels, you want to reel the line off like this. Spinning reels, you want to just lay the spool down and reel it off. Otherwise, if you do a spinning reel with this, you're going to twist your line up. And another thing, I'm going to show you how this works, but one thing too, when you do re-spool, you don't have to take all the line off of your reel. I probably take 2/3 to 3/4 off, depending on the pound test. This is 20-pound test. I'm going to use this rod for throwing a chatterbait around. So yeah, once I get it down to the amount of backing that I want on the reel, if I'm using like 20-pound test, like I said, I'm gonna probably take more off versus if I was just putting 10-pound tests on and throw a jerkbait on, I'd probably only clear half the spool just because you're not gonna fill it up so fast with the thinner diameter line. To join the lines, I'm just using a simple blood knot, and it's pretty easy and it's compact down in the spool, so it's not gonna, you know, cause you any issues really with catches or anything like that. So trim it right down tight, and that's good to go. The advantages to having fresh fluorocarbon on your reels is you can see how this is coming off the spool. It's very straight, there's no memory in it, and that's going to help you cast a lot farther, and also it's going to give you more sensitivity and just work a lot better. So the other mistake I see, you know, I do quite a bit of guiding around home, and I'll get people that show up and they bring their own rods, and their spool's only like half full, and that's a big mistake. You always want to fill your spool right up. You want to see a little bit of the spool. You don't want to overfill it or it's going to, you know, rub. You want to fill your spool up. That's going to allow you to cast a lot farther, and it's also going to keep your retrieve speed, you know, as fast as possible too, just because you've got a bigger spool to wind the line around. But fill your spool up, put fresh line on, and this tool helps me stay a lot more organized when I'm on the road and working in my boat.